All right, so we are just getting started. We're going to share some tips on how to explode your check in August and just really show how this business is so simple. And so first off, we're going to have Meg share and then Mackenzie, and then I'm going to come in with some few things. I hope you guys have a pen and paper because you're going to need that for some notes. So Meg, take it away.
Awesome. Okay, well, for those of you that don't know me, I am Meg Miller. I'm a double diamond. I have been in this business for a little over 2 years, and from a business side, it's changed our world, but also just from a mindset and growth and friendship side too. I think I would do this for the rest of my life, even if I never made a penny, based on how much I have grown and the friendships that I have created through this business and the impact they've made on my life. So that's just a little preface. But this weekend was amazing. I encourage all of you to get to an event if there's one close to you. If you have a friend that can get to it and you can't, try and get them to go live so you can be as much a part of it as possible. Events fire you up. To be in community with like-minded people is everything, and it really does.
Good night. I'm trying to listen to this.
So yeah, I get to events. But my biggest, so we're kind of each talking about, and guys, if you're just hopping on, try and press mute so that we don't have feedback. That'd be awesome. Okay, so we're each kind of breaking up a takeaway from this weekend. And for me, I wanted to start it off with kind of our mindset. When you guys join this business, every single one of you joined for a reason. It might vary your reasons. They may not all have been financial. When I joined, money was not the end all be all. Like, it wasn't necessarily I have to have X amount of dollars to survive, but we were in dire need of time. We needed that freedom of time. And so we had our reasons. It became money through circumstances and different things like that. But we had our reason when we started, and you all have your reason when you start. But I think one thing that we really quickly forget is the mindset of, you joined a business. This is a business. You became a business owner when you jumped into this. You only had to pay $99. You didn't have to pay $10,000 in overhead every single month to jump into this business. You only had to pay $99, and you get the opportunity to make that back and make so much on top of that. And I think when our first month, or maybe even our 6th month, doesn't go the way that we hoped, or maybe the way our fire jumping into it had us convinced it would be, we give up. And I think Amy's going to touch on this a little bit, but we water down why we started, and we change it and go, oh, well, okay, maybe I didn't want that so much. Maybe those dreams aren't that important to me. And you give yourself excuses as to why you're not willing to step out and work hard. And one thing that really resonated with me this weekend was for Diamonds and Above, we got a little time called Diamond Time with the CEO, his wife, and their daughter, who is the VP of Field Development. And Cindy Pentecost, if you don't know her, is one of the most incredible women. She's so soft-spoken and gentle, but her words are powerful. And she talked about the mindset and the idea of, I get to versus I have to. And I've heard her say it before, but it was so, so powerful for some reason this weekend. And it was what I wanted to share with you guys of when you join this business, nobody forced you to join it. You joined it for a purpose and a reason. And there was fire or ignorance on fire that got you to do it. And you, somewhere along the way, maybe, or maybe you haven't yet, but there will be a time where there'll be frustrations and bumps that you'll start going, I have to do this. Do I have to post? Do I have to talk to this person? And it very quickly, when you have that mindset, you're not going to be motivated at all to do it. And you're going to go, well, that 9 to 5 was looking really good. Even though I didn't get paid enough to pay my bills every month, it was looking better because it's comfortable. It's safe. And she talked about changing I have to I get to. I get to share about this with that person in the grocery store line, because what if that's the very thing that they are praying for or looking for? I get to fix dinner for my family, even though I've had a crazy day and I've been at work all day, because some of us work full time and do this business, and that is awesome. You may do that for the whole life of your being in the business, and that is great because you're passionate about your work. That is what being a business owner is about. You get to choose what that looks like with this business and how it fits into your life. But you get to. So you've been handed an opportunity that can take you to so many places, so many links that you never thought possible. I have checked off so many things off of my dream board that I never would have ever even been able to touch if I hadn't taken a risk and jumped in 2.5 years ago into this business. And I was the biggest skeptic. I told Amy no for a year. I didn't want any part of it. And then one day I decided that I needed to listen to her, and I jumped. And it wasn't until I fully put both feet in and said, no, I need to look at this differently. I need to look at this as not I have to do this for anybody, but I get to do this and I get to see where it can take me. And she mentioned that every morning she wakes up and writes down 3 things from the day before that she got to do. So maybe that's teaching your kids to give their toys away that they don't play with anymore. She was saying it's really easy for your kids to go, well, do I have to give this away? Like, do I have to do that? And changing it to, I get to give that child a toy that they didn't have before, or I get to fix food for my family because I have food to put on the table. I get to pay my rent, which a lot of us don't like to have to pay, but I get to do that because I have a roof over my head and I get to provide that for myself or my family or whatever it looks like. And so the next day, looking back and writing 3 things that you got to do, whether it was, you may not be making a ton of money yet from this business, but if your mindset shifts to an I get to mindset now, then imagine what it's going to be when you are making more money and you are able to give an abundance to people that need it and not have to check your bank account, not have to worry about whether or not you have enough to be covered, because you get to share an opportunity with somebody every day. We have to be bold, and your paycheck will always stay hobby money if you make this a hobby. So I just really want to encourage you, like starting off this Zoom and starting off this new month, forget what happened last month. It's August 1st. You have the whole month to make it out however you want to make it. If you want to be negative about that, then you're going to have a negative paycheck or a negative, viewpoint on what you make. But if you choose to be positive about it, jump in with both feet, don't care what other people have to say about you or what they think about you, and go for it, then I promise you the payoff will be more than you can ever imagine. It's not overnight. It is a business. It grows and takes time, but you put into it what you get out of it. That's backwards. You get out of it what you put into it. So if you put in little time, you're probably going to get little out. So I think that was the biggest takeaway for me from this weekend. And the last thing that I'll leave you with is the fact that for those of you that are just getting started and you're wondering like what this company is all about, did I choose the right company? You are in the perfect spot at the perfect time. And guys, this company pays out more than any other company. They pay 52 cents on every dollar back to their distributors. That's huge. So you might look at percentages and think, oh, that doesn't seem like a lot. That seems, puny compared to that. But between bonuses and like weekly bonuses, big bonuses, paybacks, whatever they do to help us make money, because they pay everything in cash. It is not cars. It is not vacations. If they do that, that is extra and that is free. That is not payment plans that you get left with if you don't meet the recommendations or the requirements for that. So they pay 52 cents, 53 cents, something like that on every dollar back to their distributors. And that is insane. And then they give out on top of that. So like that's just your payout that you see on your paycheck. And then they're giving back in other ways, like big bonuses or random drawings like Amy earned at conference this past year. So you're in a company that has a heart for people and that wants to see you succeed, wants to see you live a debt-free life, if that's what your goal is, or a time-free life, if that's what your goal is. Our goals are one of each, or it might be both. So decide what your goal is, decide why you joined, put that in front of you, and go after it. Don't make excuses and quit being fearful. And I promise you that you will look back in a year's time and more and go, I'm so glad I stepped out, and I'm so glad I gave my 110% effort, because my life has been changed in that time. That's all.
Thank you, Big. I thought that was so good. I love that. I love the mindset that we get to do this business, because so often when I get new teammates and I'm helping them and they're like, oh, like I don't want to post again. And I'm like, you get to post. You realize you're getting paid from your phone. Like, it's once you get a glimpse of what this business can do for you, you're going to run with it. But you have to get yourself to that place. So I'm going to let Mackenzie go before I start going crazy.
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Amy, nod at me if you can hear me.
We can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. Cool. So I'm Mackenzie Roberts. For y'all who don't know me, I'm a diamond. So yeah, this past weekend was so awesome. Like, it's just always incredible to me when you get to a corporate event, what you get out of it. I always get something new, which I absolutely love. So a couple of things that really stuck out to me is, so if y'all don't follow Cami Dempsey, you need to. She is Mark and Cindy's daughter. She's absolutely incredible. She talked a lot about how one person can change your business. So what that means is, like, you might not want to talk to the mom in front of you at the grocery store. You might not want to go to a wrap party for one person. You might be discouraged that one person RSVP'd for your online wrap party. But you know what? That one person could take off and completely change your business. I know that she said that she went to a wrap party 3 months in a row. She drove 3 hours to get to a wrap party 3 months in a row, and every time it was the same people there. And then I think it was the fourth time that she went, like, blew up. Like, her whole, why am I muted? Oh, I don't know why I was muted. Anyway, at the fourth meeting, there was an extra person there, and that person changed her whole business. So show up. Like, I can't even stress how important it is to be present and show up. And, like, even when it feels like nothing's happening, like, you're going to meet one person that's going to change your whole business, because they're going to get it and they're going to catch the vision and they're going to be so excited, and they're going to be the person that's going to run with you, you know, after those huge dreams and huge goals. So I think that was a huge thing, because for me, I know a lot of times there have been times where, like, one person is coming to a wrap party and I'm like, should I just cancel it because there's only one person? But then, like, if you think about it, that person's trying to change their life, either by trying our products and using them or by learning about the business. So you have to be that vessel to share with them about that. And that's so important to kind of, like, get out of our own way of, like, it seems like a pain to me to do this for one person, but it's like, it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, I had a wrap party not long ago, which is kind of funny that this just happened to me, and then I heard more about this. And I had one person show up, and then the next week she brought her husband over to my house to wrap, and then now she's a distributor with me. So, I mean, you never know, like, who's going to show up at a wrap party to try a wrap and then hear about the business and want to change their life. You know what I mean? So, like, it's not our job to decide that for people, and it's not our job to cancel a party or not show up for that one person, because our job and what we get paid for is to share the business with that one person. So I thought that that was super great and something that I loved, that she talked a lot about. And there's just a lot behind building relationships with just one person. I know a lot of times we feel like we have to be doing so many people at a time, and that's not the case. So another thing I want to talk about is fast start bonuses. So, oh my gosh, you guys, fast start bonuses are crazy. So what a fast start bonus is, and I guess I'll rewind and say what being fast start qualified is, if you don't know what that is basically if you're a new distributor and you have your auto ship on or you're commission qualified and you have 2 customers, you're fast start qualified. So that means that when you sign a distributor and you help them get 2 loyal customers, you get $100 for doing that, because you're helping your team grow and you're helping them get started successfully with their first 2 customers. So that's unlimited. So like if I signed 5 people this week and they all got 2 customers, that would mean $500 for me. You guys, that's huge. Like if you need fast money in this business, talk to your friends and tell them to get on board, because that money is, I mean, that is just a company handing out money to help people get out of debt. And I think that's just incredible and something amazing that our company does. And another thing, and Lori Conway said this once, and she's an ambassador diamond, way above all of us in our upline. And I was on a call with her once, and she was like, you guys, you have to find something that like gets you excited. And she's like, for me, fast start bonuses were exciting to me, because if I signed 5 people and I got all of them 2 customers, that's $500 for me on top of commissions, and that builds a Ruby. So, I mean, our whole business is built on rubies. So if you need fast cash or you need, that fast money, sign people up and get them fast start qualified, because that is life-changing money. Could you imagine getting $500 in bonuses a month just from doing that? Like, that just blows my mind, because if you think about it that way, it's like every month I'm signing 5 people, I'm making $500 in bonuses, and I'm building a Ruby. And you guys, our whole business is built on rubies. A diamond is 3 rubies. So can you imagine how many diamonds you could build by signing 5 people every month? Like, that just blows my mind. I think about that and it blows my mind. Even our steps to success is 3 people, and that's $300 a month. And that is the first step of creating a Ruby. So that's just kind of something that I took. And like, if you really break it down and think about it, if you are needing fast cash and like, and are waiting to sign up customers and all that kind of stuff, just go after it. Go after those 1 people that I was talking about before and get them rolling and teach them to do the exact same thing, because the money is there and it's waiting and you are worthy of getting it. So just go after it and go after those people. And like I said, fast cash is those fast start bonuses, and those come every Friday. So yeah, those were my big takeaways from the weekend. And I think that's all I have.
I love that. Thank you, Mackenzie. That was so good. So for all of you who don't know the power of a fast start, I think that is really good to hear, because we have multiple ways that we can make money, and it can be anything from fast cash if you need to fill up your car with gas, if you need to quickly go buy a shirt for an event, like whatever it is, and it might not even be that important, but that's easy money, because we have wrap cash, we have instant cash you can make. We have those $99 bonuses on Fridays. Those are the fast starts, and those get paid every Friday. So just to clarify, so if today is Tuesday, if I got a person fast start qualified today, if she got her 2 loyals, that would mean that not this Friday, but the following Friday, I would get my fast start. So that would be $99 next Friday. I remember when I first started, I was like, someone told me I'm getting $99. I called the company and I was like, hey, I'm supposed to get a $99 bonus. And they were like, oh no, that's next Friday. So I understand how important it is to get that $99, and that is free money. Like, that is free. I never leave that hanging. And for those of you who are new and you're working on getting those teammates, don't get discouraged if you haven't gotten them. If you're 30 days in or 60 days in, a year in, if you're not getting as many teammates as you want to be having, that's fine, because all of us feel the same way. We all want to be getting more distributors. But this is what I want to talk about with everybody, and I hope you have your pen and paper, because I've talked about this before, maybe on the Better Together page, maybe on different Zooms, but it is, I think, so critical that we all have our own definition of success. So get your pen and paper, and I want you to write how many people am I going to message new contacts every day? How many is your goal? So for me, 2 to 3 at the minimum, but I'm going to be going for 5 to 10 people a day that I have not talked to about this opportunity, whether that be about the products, asking them to be a product tester, or if I want to share about the business. And so on that note, just remember that it's not your job to pick what a person's going to want. So when I was starting, I was really like, I don't know if I should message them about this or about that. And so someone told me, like, it's not your job, you present both. And so that was just a weight off, because then I was like, oh good, I don't have to decide for anybody. You just present both and you let them decide what they need in their life, whether that's help with their health or help with their health and their finances. So that is the first thing I want you to write down. How many people are you going to reach out to every day and message them and you've never talked to them yet about this opportunity? So that's your first one. Second, how many times are you going to post today? Whether you're using Facebook or Instagram, or if you're going to be using Snapchat, there's so many avenues on social media that you can be talking or you can be connecting with people. And then don't forget that you can actually pick up the phone and call people. I think we forget that our phones actually call people. So I think that's really important, that we can reach out and be a friendly voice on the phone and not just a salesperson, because nobody wants to be sold to. You want to care about the people. So first thing is, how many people are you going to message, new contacts? How many times are you going to post a day? Now, the scarier part, I talked about this in Cheyenne, is blitzing. And that blitzing is just a fancy way of saying you're going to present the opportunity and talk to somebody about this business. And that could be the person in line at Starbucks. That could be a person at the gas station, whatever it is. I keep my ears open when I am out and about, because people are always talking about what they need. We are selfish by nature, and so we're going to talk about ourselves. So it's really easy to pick up on what people need, even if you don't know them. And so sometimes, like, I'll hear people, and one of them, I had a friend who said, like, oh my gosh, she turned into a friend. I didn't know her, but I was blitzing, or I was going to blitz her, and I heard this girl say that she got her hours cut at work. And so I was like, oh, like my little light bulb came on, like, I know I need to go talk to her. And so I was able to go up to her and be like, hey, I didn't mean to overhear anything, but I just want to share that this business has been such an amazing blessing for me, and I would love to talk to you about it. I wish I could connect right now, but could I add you on Facebook? I always go very quick in my blitzing, because if you're going to be like, oh, and here's the compensation plan, and you like roll it out, like nobody is going to sit there and listen to that. Like, they don't care, and they're going to think you're kind of crazy. But if you're lighthearted, you're approachable, you're positive, and you just say, hey, I'd love to connect with you on Facebook, that's way more appealing than asking someone for their number too. Because sometimes if someone asks me for my number, I'll be like, no, thank you. Like, but on Facebook, that's not scary. Everyone's on Facebook. So you just add them. Then you can start the relationship building, because you're not going to sign people. Well, I mean, sometimes you would, but the majority of people, they're going to want to get to see what you're doing. So you're going to want to build that relationship, let them see what you're doing, send a message that day. Hey, it was really great to meet you today. I would love to connect with you. When's a good time for you? I'd love to grab coffee. I'd love to whatever. And so you do that. And if they don't message back, that's fine. And I think Kristen is on here. Yeah, she is. Kristen is on here, and she is one of my teammates, and I talked to her. She worked at Dutch Bros, a coffee shop, and I was like, she is so fun. She's so sweet. I said she'd do awesome. And so I just told her, like, she asked me what I was up to that day, and I was actually going to a Knitworks event, and I was like, oh, it's a fun event down in Colorado Springs. It's an awesome business, and it's so awesome, but we have to get going. Like, could I add you on Facebook? And she's like, totally. So she added me. I messaged her right away, but she did not message me back for like probably 4 or 5 months, which is totally fine, because that's normal. So Kristen, that was normal. Don't feel bad. And then that 6th month, all of a sudden she was seeing a need for what I was doing, and she was catching on that I was having a good time and I was making good money. And so we all, we love to have friendships. We love to have that extra income. And so she messaged me and said, hey, I would love to know more. I'm sorry I haven't written you back. And that it's totally fine on my part, but that was the point. I was connecting with someone knowing that maybe my yes was not coming that day or maybe that week, but I'm planting seeds. So 6 months ago, I have people contacting me. 3 months ago, they're contacting me today. Even a month ago, they're contacting me today. So imagine if those success things that I'm writing down, the ones that I'm encouraging you to do right now with the who are you talking to and how many posts a day, if I wasn't doing that 6 months ago and I wasn't talking to people, there would be nothing happening in my business today. So if you think nothing's happening and it's been like 25 days that you've been in the business, or maybe 25 months, let's think about what you've been doing every single day. Have you been planting seeds? And so that brings me back to my point of what is your definition of success? So my definition of success every single day is 2 to 3 minimum new contacts. I'm posting 3 to 5 times a day, and I'm blitzing at least one person a day. So I can go to bed at night and say, I was successful today because I did what I put it out there to do, because that's what I know. I plant seeds, it'll come. The harvest will come. And I think so many people, like, I don't know what it is with millennials, but everyone's like, I'm thinking like 30-second microwave situation for this business. And it is not, holy hell. People need to get off their motorcycles. Okay, but this business is not at all like a microwave. My very first check was $42, and I didn't even get paid my first month. I didn't even get my 4 loyal customers, but I kept working because I knew that $42 would snowball, and it would grow, and it would grow. And so that is the kind of the conclusion thing that I want to talk to you all about, is that I know most of the time, almost every single person, each of you, the hurdle that's in front of you is you. It is your own thoughts. It's your own fears. It's the lies in your head. And I think that the biggest thing is that, oh my gosh, I'm doing network marketing. I'm so embarrassed. That's what you're thinking. And you're going to get an embarrassing paycheck because you're embarrassed. So if you're going to work like that, be prepared to see a check that you're not very excited about, and it's just going to give you a reason to say, this wasn't worth it, I knew it, and I'm going to quit. So if you don't want to be that way, you have to turn it around, because let me tell you, my first year and a half, I was making $200 to maybe $400 or $500 a month. Then I said, this is not, I know I can do it because I've seen people do this business that are my age, and I can go after this. So then not even 2 months later, I was paid as executive in February, and in March I was diamond, and I got a $20,000 bonus. 6 months later, because I was determined to make this business work, I was seeing $6,000 paychecks and more. So that is absolutely crazy, and I don't say that because I want you to say like, wow, like she's so good at this business. It's not that. For a year and a half, I was like floundering, wondering like, am I good at this? Is anyone going to catch on? Do people even like my posts? Like, this is embarrassing. No one's even saying anything on them. But I kept posting, I kept planting, I kept messaging, and I stayed positive, even if people said no. Everybody on this call, people say no to me every single day. They say no to Meg, they say no to Bree, they say no to Mackenzie, they say no to Tanea, they say no to Kayla, they say no to Brenda. Everybody on this team has heard no. So don't think you're some like, woe is me, like all I hear is no, and this business is not working for me. It's not working for you if you choose not to work it. It will work if you work it. And so I get passionate about this because so many people give up on themselves. And like Mackenzie said, you have to believe that you are worth it. You started this business so that it would do something in your life that you're excited about. But if you're just going to write it off like you're not, like, it's not that big of a deal if I don't do well in this business, okay, maybe it's not. So then let's go back to your 9 to 5 and let's hope for a raise in the next 3 to 6 months or a year. Let's hope that your boss sees what your potential is and maybe you'll get another $1. Like, I think that's like living like a pretty like low like self-esteem kind of life. And even though that's the common thing to be doing, I believe because you guys are on this call, you're uncommon. Because if you want to show up to these Zooms, that says something about what you want to do with your life. Because so many people, they heard about tonight and they couldn't make it. And if they couldn't make it because they're working, I understand. I'm not dissing the people who are on it. But when you choose to show up, you're going to go up. And I love that saying, because when you look at your Wired app and you see that there's an event coming to you, you're going to do everything it takes to get to that event, because the event is going to create a fire and a passion in you, and you're going to go and you're going to be able to talk to people and you're going to be proud of what you're doing. Because when you take off the shame and the embarrassment of I do network marketing and you take your posting to a whole nother level, and you start messaging people and you have passion and you're using emojis and you have punctuation marks. Don't message people and just be like, hey, what's up? Have you seen what I'm doing? Like, no question mark, no nothing. Like, people are like, no. But if you say, hey, I just wanted to reach out to you because I thought you'd be really interested in what I'm doing. I don't know if you've seen it, but I would love if you would give me your feedback on what I'm doing. And then they're like, what are you doing? So it's all about your approach. And if you're approaching people without the excitement and without the passion, then they're going to feel that in the message and they're going to feel that in the text. So I just want to encourage everybody, what is your steps to success in the ways that I was just asking you? What are your goals every single day? How are you going to make sure that you are posting every day, that you are messaging people every day, and that this August is going to be the biggest check that you have seen in your whole career, whether that's been 25 days or 25 months in this business. If you are going to take yourself and be accountable to what you want, then you're going to see the increase. And maybe that means that every single day this month, you're doing what you write down right now. And what if it doesn't turn into the biggest month? Who cares? Because you planted seeds for a whole entire month, which means September is going to be epic. So you have to keep setting yourself up for success every single month and not get distracted by the no's, and just keep going. Put on your blinders. And if you're lacking faith or belief in yourself, please message me, message Meg, message Mackenzie, message your upline. Whoever your upline is, like, they want success for you. And if your upline disappears, because that happens too, then you just reach up a little farther, because there are people who are going to make this business change everything for their life. And I know that there are a lot of people on this who are going to the top with this company, and every single one of you can if you commit to yourself. And you have to know that no one in your life can keep you accountable to what you just wrote down. You have to be the one who says, did I message everybody today? Did I post how I wanted to post? Because if you can't answer that honestly, then your check is not going to reflect what you were hoping would happen. So I just want to retouch back on that, having your auto ship on. If your auto ship is not on, if you don't have that ADBV running, you are not commission qualified. The only other way to be commission qualified is 150 in personal bonus volume. It says PBV. So that is from loyal customer orders. So I don't tell people to bank on that, because what if that loyal customer for some reason sends product back? That means that your volume then drops. You might be at 110, maybe 149. If you did not get that 150 mark, then guess what? Your check's not coming. So make a point to sell your wraps. Use your product credit if you have it and get some wraps, and let's have wrap parties and make it happen so that you can run your auto ship. That auto ship is so important for the growth of your business. So the other thing that I want to challenge everybody to, and my new goal is to start doing more wrap parties. So my personal goal is 1 wrap party every week. And I want to increase that as the ball starts rolling, because every party that I have, I'm going to be asking for another party to be booked before the party's over, because I want to keep going from party to party and wrapping my way to ambassador. So that's where I'm going. So you need to ask yourself, where are you going? What kind of work are you willing to put in to see what you hope to happen? And whether that's 200 a month, that's great. 200 is such a blessing. But there's some in here wishing for 2,000. So if you have 2,000 a month, then you're going to have to up your game, because this business is powerful, but it's not powerful without you. So you are the reason it's going to be powerful. So I hope that everyone had something that they could take away from this time together. And we only have a couple minutes left, but I'm just so thankful for each of you. And if you guys have questions, please message whoever told you to get on this, or message me. But just know that what you wrote down for your goals, they have to happen every day in August if you want to start seeing your checks go up. So I would love if you guys would, yeah.
Can I add something before you finish, whenever you're done?
I have 30 more seconds, and then we have 3 minutes left on the
You're good.
Okay, so the one thing I would love for you guys to do, so that I know you are on this Zoom, because there's 32 people, which is awesome, is I want you to write down what you're going to do every day, how many people you're going to talk to, and how many people you want to talk to in this business, whether it's blitzing once a day, once every 3 days, whatever that is. And then I want you to take a selfie with it and tag me, because I want to see what everyone's doing, because I want to be able to cheer you on this month and say, I believe in you, you are worth it, and I don't care if you have naysayers, because you have enough belief in yourself to show up. So I'm thankful for you, and I'm going to let Meg bring it home.
No, what you said there at the end made me think. I think sometimes some of us have a hard time deciding what it is that we're going for, what our goals are and why. And I think you hear a lot about making a dream board, make a board that talks about the things that you're dreaming for, that you're hoping for. But some of us aren't in that place to where we are allowing ourselves to dream yet. We just simply need to be able to pay our bills and have more money than months. And so one thing I want to encourage you to do is, if you're not at the place where you can make a dream board, you need to be setting goals for yourself, and you need to hold yourself accountable and let us help hold you accountable, or you will never break out of your comfort zone. But if a dream board is out of the question, do what I like to call a nightmare board. Write down, if you do not put effort into this, you join for a reason. If it's $500 or $2,000, if you don't put effort forth, what does life look like if you don't give this the chance that it deserves? Does that mean picking up another job? Does that mean putting your kids in daycare and not being able to stay home? What does it look like if you don't give yourself the chance and take quit off the table? So sometimes I think if we look at it like that, then that ignites a fire to say, I'm not going to let that happen. And then we're allowed to dream. So I just encourage you to do that if you're not at a place where you can dream, because if you're setting goals and you're going after them, then you're not going to let yourself down, because they're in front of you and you're excited and you're passionate. Even if you don't reach them all, you will reach them. Just change the timeline if you don't reach them at the end of this month. Move them to September and add more to it. So that's all.
I love it, Meg. This is saying less than a minute. So thank you guys for being on here. This is recorded. So I see questions too, so I'll get back to people. But thank you so much for being on this, and we'll connect soon. I have another idea for a Zoom to go Ruby. So we're going to do another one next month. So have a great night. Thank you for being on here, and let's make August huge.